All right, welcome everyone, Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Andor, Season 2, Episode 5.
Oh my gosh.
The Empire's at it again. And I think a planet will pay the price this time, but maybe not in the same kind of total way as Alderaan.
Yeah, it's going to be dark, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be a lot. Right now, things are still in the formulating stage. We've got Cyril on the ground, but not for the rebels.
Nope.
For Dedra. That's a fun little twist there. Having Luthen then send Cassian into the same environment.
Fantastic.
Oh, there's so much potential fun that can happen there.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine what Cyril will say to keep his cover as he's faced then with the person that he wanted to catch so badly.
Oh my gosh. Even if it takes just a long time for them to bump into each other and it's just a couple words or something like that.
The fact that it could happen.
The fact that it could happen.
Delicious.
Oh, delightful. Oh my gosh. Yes. Everyone else, though, trying to just keep their head above water.
Yeah.
Some more literally than others. Yeah.
He's bad.
Hang in there, everybody. Yeah, things are going to get scarier before, hope comes comes a call in.
Yeah, hope isn't here yet.
Not yet. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
It's a fun look into the tech.
It's a forgery. It's a good one.
It should be. It certainly cost enough.
Wait.
I won't tell you what I paid for it. Unfortunately, the dealer...
You're up early.
Wait, that was Mon Mothma's husband, right?
Oh, maybe?
Was he talking to... Let's go back and rewatch that scene, or re-listen. Because they mentioned Skulden.
Can I help you?
Foreman?
Visiting friends?
Why do you ask?
I'm curious by nature.
Y'all getting
happened to
freaky
not-
back here.
Bon! What do we have for Gorman?
Cool design.
There's not much in the way of danger here.
When would you arrive?
Hang on. I gotta go, Mother. I'll let you know.
Wait.
Listen up.
Oh, shit.
I need everybody to step away from their workstations and leave the room immediately.
Scarab demain. Languette, au Scarab.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh.
You're refusing a direct Imperial order. This is insane. Take him. Are you... Come. Everybody out.
This works for his cover. But it's also something where...
But
I don't know if this was something that he'd want, basically.
I don't think so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun development. Because Dedra could have ordered this, basically.
Right.
But it's a bit too direct.
But it builds up the idea that just because something's part of the plan doesn't mean she'd tell him.
Won't tell you what I paid for it. Unfortunately, the dealer I bought it from is dead.
Oh, gotcha.
Inspected and recertified. Everything!
You...
Oh boy.
Oh, gotcha. That's what's going on.
51457. Level 4888, East Narcine, Coruscant.
Dang, that level of specificity and numbers.
They probably have the apartment, too.
Because, Coruscant's that big, too. Dang, they messed with their tech like
Holy shit.
crazy.
Of course. We're bugging our own office!
Fun.
Okay.
Either way, if that's
Yeah.
acting, that's good acting.
Yeah.
Dalam spila verjoblo. Klika.
That could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing.
Right. I love the crummy speeder,
Looking for a listening device? Which, of course, I either condoned or ignored or put in myself for some reason, or else the whole thing was a ruse for them to put something in. I mean, I don't know. They do what they want.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well done, Cyril.
Yeah. Wow.
Lesson for all of us.
It's humiliating.
I take my work seriously.
Yep.
Oh, very seriously.
Need to know what's on those transports, Cyril.
It's construction material. That's what comes across my desk.
And the rest of it?
Not every transport has a bill of lading.
Those are the ones we'd be interested in.
They've taken the bait. Wow.
Now, how much will you actually give them?
Well, whatever Dedra tells him to give.
Sure.
No.
No, no. Not that.
Not that. Yeah.
It's fine. He'll be home soon enough. I came to see about you.
Wow.
Okay.
He's struggling.
Yeah.
Is that what he told you? I'm better than he thinks I am.
All he does is sing your praises.
Oh.
Station 5, so that's thirds. Watch the line. Take your time.
Cracking,
Onto the right. And we're all dead.
Wild. So this is like a fuel siphon.
Yeah, simulating the job.
Yeah.
I don't want any more security questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, this is fun because if it was disconnected from Dedra, then it's just the ISB being the ISB. They don't know
Right.
that Dedra's on the special team, you know?
Uh-huh.
Fine, nobody's watching. Oh, man of taste. Best spider on the plaza. Come back safe.
Thank you.
I'm not cool with this just tending spiders.
Yeah.
Stop it! Stop it!
And
Stop.
looking at it, God.
Ugh.
At least it looks more like an ant with 8 legs than a spider.
It's
but-
just,
yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Star Wars, you're weird sometimes.
D'abord, t'essayes.
Affinage le scabre à bord pliant.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cyril might not even recognize him.
He might not, although this is probably the face that keeps him up at night, if ever.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely.
Other than another face literally keeping him up at night, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm sure you have an opinion.
I needn't be reminded. I was there.
Whoa. Yeah, 5 years ago, so.
And Moff Tarkin, right?
Will there be anything else?
Yeah, you're making me uncomfortable. Yeah.
Curious.
Been hearing about Gorman my whole life.
Oh. Yeah. Tell me a little more.
Would land the cruise on a crowd full of unarmed citizens. I was with my father. He was killed.
The literal boot of the Empire.
Yeah.
Coming down.
Thank you. It's good to meet you.
I think bro got married young, though. These two orbiting each other. He's home.
I was safe.
Nice to see you, too. They're so emotionally stunted. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, I had you followed.
Oh, that's so romantic. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm dead. Holy shit. Incredible.
Oh, my God.
Brendan might have come himself.
Unless I'm the friend. Right?
Yeah, you don't know. What are you doing?
Maybe I'm ISB. Maybe you just put everyone you care about into a cell.
Damn. You need to be much more careful. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Hard to be patient when your world is falling apart.
Not yet.
My father's very proud.
And I can't wait to meet him. I need fabric. When is a good time for
God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Just completely shifted back.
people you have following me? They're just drawing attention. Send them home.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, this is so painful for him. He's
Yeah.
watching a little baby.
Right.
Rebel.
Look away.
Stop.
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
He got her a gift.
Of a spider and having it be a surprise.
Call it Cyril.
That's an interesting choice.
Stop.
Disregard for common sense.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I have not missed her, but
she's fantastic. Fantastically awful.
And they're building it quickly.
Yeah.
I'm like looking to see if like one of these people walking around is Cyril at any
Yeah.
given moment.
I know.
Because he
so great.
had to come back probably immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've waited far too long in coming. Your showroom is fantastic. 19 generations.
Wow. The youngest, too. Dang.
We sweep for listening devices daily.
What?
I must draw attention. Every Twillery on the plaza does the same. It's a competitive market.
Wow.
Only meeting you because we find ourselves with a unique opportunity. We have a source inside. An Imperial source. I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at it.
The information is reliable.
Shipments come by cargo carrier from the South Depot at night through the city.
Yeah, even if the information is good,
Yeah.
it needs to be passed along or tampered with.
Gonna want to check the radio. And if everything is fine, I would love to get a tour of Palmo by night.
We can accommodate that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Awesome. Love it.
Oh, and this is what's going to be the Empire's reason.
Right.
Skeptically confident, sir.
Words
Nice.
to live by.
I think they're planning already. They're inexperienced, but very eager.
How often those attributes align?
Yeah.
If they pull it off, when it's over, we need to calibrate retribution carefully. We want them growing bolder. They need to see what winning feels like.
Right.
Sure.
No, that's good. Whoa, that's really clever.
Oh.
Because the escalation and the retribution can be a negative just as much as it can be a positive for the rebels.
Oh man.
She's like, baby, you did good.
A bit, you know, talked a few times.
A bit eager.
A bit eager, yeah.
This is the greatest day of my life. Does it spoil everything?
To see you happy.
Oh yeah, perfect transition.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Holy shit.
Those two acting together. It's a
beautiful.
Joy. It's a joy.
On one single variation.
Yeah.
One. I'd have the confidence you're looking for.
And because it's coming from him and not from Willman.
Leave tomorrow night. Tubes has all of the pipe numbers.
Thank you. Woman?
We'll keep him for now.
Okay. Good. Now, did Willman like put him up to that, or is that a teamwork deal?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Or just checking to see, does he interact with you any different, you know, after that talk with Saw?
Yeah.
They'll find our microphone.
Yep.
You heard this on the bug.
They're taking everything out the day after the party.
And he knows who you are, so you will have
because they
a
got it
crime
from
boss
your store
on your ass.
Yeah.
Slide the cargo to the bottom and disappear.
How does it feel, Cassian?
You keep pretending it's all under control.
Are you done?
She's been trying to cover for you.
Yeah.
We have to take it out at the party.
And if we can't,
then we're fucked.
enough to do it on his own. No help from you.
I think so.
Okay.
You think? Or you know?
What's the right answer? Damn.
Traitor! Show them.
Whoa.
Ambush waiting for us at the Marquez Moon pipeline. But we will be many passings away.
Nice.
Whatever you don't take, we burn. We will not be back this way again.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
That was scary. Dang, Saw is good.
It's on you, boy.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to do it.
Damn. Roll out.
I love that Saw always has like a hodgepodge of ships and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
How much help do we need? It's not stealing things that's difficult. It's getting away.
Yeah. You're staying here, yeah.
Let it continue. Let them build what they want. Let them persecute us for no reason. And tighten the noose every time we cry out.
Wow, yeah.
I love all the points that they're both bringing up.
Tell your friend, I'm not impressed.
I'm in fact miffed.
But not moffed.
No, that happened a while ago.
Got our spot.
Okay.
Looks pretty, yeah.
I was younger than you are now.
Yeah, I still did it.
I was a prisoner. They made a work camp in the jungle.
Is this where it goes wrong?
No.
Because Saw has all kinds of stuff hooked up to him in Rogue One.
Wrong jungle.
Yeah.
Real jungle.
Yeah, real jungle.
Back and forth until the only thing you could remember was back and forth. Then one day, everyone started to itch.
You're not helping him do this delicate procedure.
I panicked and ran away, but it was new to me.
Whew. Okay.
All right.
Above now.
All right, let's begin siphoning.
You think I'm crazy? Yes, I am. Revolution is not for the sane.
Whoa.
That's, oh man.
I'll be dead before the Republic is back, and yet, here we are. Where are you, boy?
The person who admits that they're insane starts making sense.
Yeah.
Here! You're not with Luthen, you're here! You're right here, and you're ready to fight!
Whoa. Whoa.
We're the Rhino, kid! We're the fuel!
We're the fuel! Oh, shit.
Let it in, boy! That's freedom!
The true revolutionary
freedom
sets
calling.
himself aflame.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Run wild!
Damn! The episodes just keep coming, and they keep hitting.
They keep getting better and better.
Woo!
Oh, I need...
I'm high on this episode.
I huffed some fumes there, too.
Yeah. Well, holy shit.
Revolution is not for the sane.
Yeah, I love it.
love that. That's this
yeah.
episode. The sanity being lost. The semblance of sanity being
Right.
lost. Everybody is starting to feel the pressure, the weight of all their previous actions, of all their consequences potentially coming down. We've got Luthen potentially made if he doesn't pull off a very specific heist with Leia. I'm excited to see them either protect themselves individually or who's going to be the one to make the sacrifice. There's some fun things being set up here. But having Cassian then actually make his way to Gorman, timing that conveniently with when Cyril left as their source was perfect. That was wonderful.
Having multiple, fade to black, stuff happened off screen. Awesome. But I gotta say, damn, the build up to the okay, we're here. We have an hour.
Yeah.
Like this is basically just a conjugal visit.
It absolutely is.
It's just, all right.
Even though he's there to report to
yes.
the party guys. Yeah,
right. It's just, you have an hour. Turn out the lights.
I love the interaction with him with the ISB director.
Oh god, that was
much.
Great. Yeah, and inexperienced and overeager.
It's often coming together.
Yeah. Like just the little looks of just
like there's layers to this. Can I just talk about this? Can I just talk about that bit?
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, it's entirely directed at Cyril.
Right.
It's entirely there as a little jab to be like,
sure.
Clearly, you're inexperienced and eager, and you're not going for this here.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things here, you could say it's about the two of them.
Yes.
And how he's inexperienced and she's eager.
Oh,
and it's
sure.
The thing about where you can also
Pride and
flip
Prejudice. Who is it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can flip it around again and be like, actually, he's eager, but she's inexperienced in the relationship side of things,
And going back to season 1, she was inexperienced and eager. She was the young kid on the block that's coming in and, has that chip on their shoulder, got that dog in her, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was competent enough to be able to move things and shift things. But now that she's established, she's in a position now where she also feels the pressure.
Sure.
She feels the weight of hierarchy and the idea that if this all doesn't go well, like things are not good for her. So she is taking a lot of leeway here with Cyril by having him be her dog in this regard here.
Like when he opens his mouth to speak and she's like, what are you doing, babe? But then it ends up actually being a thing almost just like when she started, talking in the room and stuff in season 1. And it's like, oh, hey, it ends up working out.
Yeah,
all right,
and that's
cool.
why him directing it at Cyril also is him directing at the two of them.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of, like I love the way that her actor, like the actress for Dedra, just does the best combined emoting with just face and lip and cheek twitches and all that.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible.
And then the bit at the end when he's like, "If I say that this is the greatest day of my life, would it spoil it?" And
her face, oh
God,
my God,
like the
it's
fact
incredible.
that we can have so much delightful comedy in this show that has so much just dark, heavy subject stuff going on, right?
Right.
I adore it.
It's wonderful. It's very helpful for the pacing because then we have all the Gorman stuff, which is Cassian's then adopted his kind of James Bond spy kind of persona here.
Yep.
We then see in a lot of ways the similarities to what him and Cyril are doing here, and that if you were to just flip him as Cyril here, he's calling out specifically the way they addressed and approached Cyril of like, you don't know who I am.
Right.
And yet they're still going to go with this. And they've still accepted everything that he said because he gave them one bit of good info.
Well, and they're revolutionaries, right?
Well, they're revolutionaries and they need to do this.
Right. It's and that's what I love about there are certain situations, and I think where basically, whether it's because of desperation or, who cares what the circumstances are, the best option for a person or a group or whatever is X, right? And, the trap, the bait, the whatever does actually give them their best option, right? Like, this is the best thing for them to do, right? Yes, they could just decide to do nothing and slowly be choked out, but, you know. And so that's why the strategy of it works so well, because of course it will.
And that's why in a lot of ways this season is about showing how disparate they are, how disconnected they are, because actually living to be alive later, doing nothing now, puts you potentially at the battle for the Death Star above Yavin.
Right.
Like, people that don't die here, even if their actions are the things that make that possible, because that is a lot of ways the themes of what makes Star Wars. Well, right. That's what part of the themes of what makes the Star Wars Empire era so powerful is that a lot of the characters are about passing the baton, all the way back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically being like, I'm going to buy you time so that you can then get out of here, and I will die to Vader in such a way that then gives you the opportunity to then go forth and save everybody. Right. So those people are needed to do their part. But just because they're needed to do their part, you don't know. You don't know for sure whether you're making the best bet here in general. And that's why the Saw monologue is so powerful. Not just because Willman like fills his lungs with the same air, the same
burning,
the same yearning, the same explosive desire for freedom, for revolution, for the madness of fighting an unwinnable fight. But it's that you can see that the only reason why Saw has survived this long, like actually made it through all of this, is because he's willing to tap so lightly on the door of madness and then hold so tightly onto his ideals that he tears himself apart. He sunders, he burns himself for a sunset he'll never see. He is literally doing the thing that Luthen talked about in episode 10.
And that's also what I love, that to have this in parallel or / contrast with the whole scene with Luthen and Clea, where we have been seeing, and Clea has been commenting on how Luthen is not being buttoned up about this. He's
slipping up.
Yeah, he's getting reckless, he's taking risks, all of that.
Right.
And the problem,
eager,
the problem is not necessarily the risks, but it's the fact that he doesn't really understand what he's doing, right? Like when the whole situation comes up with the bug, he's like, oh, Clea, it was your idea, all that stuff, right? Rather than and all she can do is basically just be like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Like, because he's not actually addressing the situation at hand,
We need to do something about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happened.
Yeah.
What's now is now.
Right. There's an element of him basically kind of keeping his head in the sand, maybe because there's that part of him that is still holding on to the fact that, but I do have a really cushy life here. Even if I'm going to get taken away by ISB at some point in the future, it hasn't happened yet. And God damn it, this life I have is really freaking good.
Yeah, he's going to have tested basically his willingness to burn.
Right.
And I don't know if he would have taken off the mask necessarily, because it's in a lot of ways not about to him it's
there's no direct logical benefit that you get from taking off the mask in this case.
Nothing.
Right?
In fact, it's actually a negative.
It's strictly a negative, right?
Strictly.
But it's the jumping off the cliff so that way you can't back away from it, right? Like even if you're jumping off the cliff and maybe not the best way, right? And like, but
these
okay,
are the people that take action immediately.
Yeah,
it's the kind of thing where
I'm not getting out of this.
Oh, right. It's the kind of thing where, if you want to think about this actually a little bit deeper, Saw had a really interesting situation on his hands in that he needed to be able to test to see if this guy was good enough to be able to do the job that they had, right?
Sure.
He then puts him with another person who's their smartest person who can see if he's legit by having him teach him.
Yeah.
Then he ends up in a situation where he's like, okay, but I also need to test the loyalties of this guy. So I'm going to put a gun to his head and say, did you actually do it properly? He didn't do either of the choices that he did here. He chose the third option, showing that he can trust the guy.
Yeah.
So then he kills the other guy and says he was transmitting to the Empire. You know what's funny about that? We don't know for sure he was transmitting to the Empire.
It definitely looked like the other guy might have planted a thing on him. And been like, oh, I found a transmitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if he was or wasn't,
Yep.
what he now has here by going through all this, whether it was true or it was all a charade, he now has a man who's willing to die for the rebellion.
He's got a zealot. Yeah.
He's got another zealot. And maybe what it was he was like, no, this guy, he was all ready to die. I've already been through it with this guy. He's done quite a bit of good. But you know what? I need somebody that would know that if I told them the plan, if this was actually what I was going to do, that they would willingly do it. And in some ways, by having it be a teaching kind of situation there, he could tell, oh, okay, this guy is not as good as the kid. The kid cannot transmit all that skill, all that talent into this guy, and so is ultimately worth more if they were just to have one.
Trade up.
So I'll trade up.
Yeah.
And I love that this is all in the context of Revolution is not for the sane because we don't know whether Saw killed this guy just for this.
Oh, yeah.
Or if he was actually a spy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. The way that they're using... So, okay. One of the things I've been kind of curious about with like Andor Season 2 as a concept, right? Season 1, all right, cool. They're doing a story and, you know, they have this particular vision and direction and they do it and it's great, right?
Right. It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's its own thing. Yeah. But then Season 2, it's all right, we got to bridge the gap.
We have to tie things now fully.
Right.
We had a bunch set up for how they were going to tie it in Season 1, but now they have to actually show it.
And that's a much bigger narrative burden than the first season
It's
had.
a much bigger burden.
Because with first season, it's hey, we're just going to find
introduce new characters.
We're going to introduce new characters and find all the things that will have the biggest narrative punch, right?
And also set up some of the
set up Cassian to be a proper rebel by the end of the season. Cool. But that's very easy to do, right? You know,
well, it's easier.
Easier, right? You know, and they are able to take their whole time for the whole season to do it. Now it's okay, whatever their ending is, probably, you know, leading right into Rogue One, we've got to properly set that up. A movie that is already, like, completed and out there and, you know, all of that stuff, right? And so we have to set everything up for that while also keeping to all of the wonderful stuff that made Season 1 so good.
Right.
Right? And you know, resolving the characters and all that.
Yeah.
And so it's just fascinating to me how well they're able to have each arc be self-contained.
Yes.
So that when it concludes and then we do another time skip, it feels natural.
Yeah.
While at the same time continuing to build up this eventual conclusion and also feeling like we're getting meaningful progression for the characters. And I love that. I absolutely love that.
Saw was actually one of the things that I know for a lot of fans who hadn't seen anything animated, so they didn't know who Saw was with regards to the Clone Wars and eventually Star Wars Rebels. Because remember, Rebels is recent comparatively to a lot of the Disney Star Wars stuff. They didn't like Saw.
Sure.
Saw was weird. Saw in a lot of ways was also, I would just agree, like a bit too focused on just seeming off for a lot of things. A lot of his lines that he gave were actually really good, but it was some of the stuff that was surrounding him that made him hard to kind of empathize and connect with.
It felt like he was a character that should have had a bigger piece in the movie than what we got. And his introduction was kind of rushed.
And that's because in a lot of ways, he was there for the Star Wars super fans of like you know who this is already, so you've already been introduced to him. But the idea that in this show we've had far more to connect with that Saw because this is already the same Saw that's you know
this feels like
a few years basically from his full descent into madness.
This feels like a milder version of what they were able to do with Clone Wars, where it's like, hey, let's set up Anakin's fall by showing the in-between of 2 and 3, right? Yeah. And so over the course of it, you can see Anakin the hero to then see the downfall, right? Rather than just like, oh, he was sort of just this whiny, angsty dude, you know, and then all of a sudden he's Vader, right?
Right. So
and so seeing Saw like this, even though it's with these little moments, because again, in the grander context of the show, he's fairly inconsequential. But with regards to what he was there for in Rogue One, he still does that here, and he does it even better, which is getting at the themes and the galactic struggle and all of that stuff that's going on, right? Yeah. And for that, he does a great job, and I want to see him now, like, I want to see him directly do things in the main plot, you know?
Well, right, yeah. I would also highly recommend if you, as a viewer, are connecting a lot with Saw as a character here, you get to see him younger and even more brash, and the beginning of where that brashness comes from in a lot of the Star Wars animated projects. So I will always be recommending people check out Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. I will say there are viewing experiences that you can hyphenate those shows and not miss out on the good stuff.
Sure.
Because there is a lot of episodes, especially in Clone Wars, a few in Rebels, that they're not premium Star Wars experience. So I still recommend that. But I love the fact that Andor can exist alongside those shows that are made for a younger audience. And Andor is clearly made for a much older audience.
Oh, yeah.
In that, not because it's live action, but because of the actual subjects and the human stories that we're telling here, where we have someone basically completely addicted to the fumes of ship exhaust, basically on the surface potentially being like, my freedom, you know, smells like jet fuel. But no, what he's actually talking about is that thread that holds life and death together. Like the fact that he's like, I ride that thread, I bungee cord with that thread. And I love the feeling of throwing my life on the line for something I believe in.
Right. It's the, I am not a good person and I am not going to get out of this.
No.
I have made my peace with that.
Yeah.
And in fact, I have developed a taste for that.
Yeah.
Because I need to in order to do this.
Right.
Right.
But it's so cool to see this in context with Cassian, who is the, I'm a survivor and I want other people to survive, but I'm cold and I'm willing to kill and do what I need.
Right. He's a spy, not a revolutionary.
Exactly. He's a spy. But then the revolutionary basically says, but you're here right now. You're alive. Do you feel it? Do you feel this moment? Do you feel right now the call, the thing that's pulling at your very soul to burn, to do something meaningful? And it's like, oh shit, I'm getting fired up. Yeah.
Sure. But you're a dumbass and are gonna get yourself killed. That's not your plan needs some work, right? Like it's the thing of where you need the people then working together, right? If Saw was not connected to Luthen, he'd just rage and burn and, the naked man in the wilderness, right?
Well, yeah, to an extent, but he did gather these people with his own charisma and his own,
he'd make
passion.
He'd make it one hell of a fire.
Right.
It just wouldn't necessarily fuel anything, right?
Well, right, but I think that's a zero-sum game to basically say that if they didn't have any connections here, you wouldn't do something. It's important what the individual does.
Right.
It is really important what the individual does. But it is extremely important. It is extremely important, like you're saying, to build the connections in such a way that your individual fire doesn't fade out too quickly.
And to make a leap to a different side from this episode. Cyril.
Yeah.
You're important. You're doing good work. In the technical, you are being effective and all that stuff. Good job, puppy.
Head pats, yes.
Yeah, head pats and all that stuff. But there's going to come a point where you realize, oh, hey.
Yeah, your mom was right.
Yeah.
Like, that hurts me to say, but the very first thing she said on the call when you were going to your office in Gorman, when we saw you there, yes. And it's not even necessarily Dedra's full intent to do that.
Oh no.
But you will be.
Right.
You will be.
Yeah, you will very much be in danger. You already are in danger.
You'll be hung out to dry.
Yeah. Let's just say
die.
Let's just say if the breakup does happen, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of a rough one. I think yeah.
I could never have worked out between us, darling.
God, it's gonna be so good. But the thing is, I think Dedra really does genuinely care about him.
Well, I think because once we got her backstory, we understand her kind of growing up with no family kind of situation. I totally understand the lack of empathy and the warmth that she feels even from his coldness. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
it's so wonderful that even 2 blocks of ice, when you rub them together, can create friction.
That's one of the reasons I love Cyril so much, because he's and specifically the interactions with Dedra, because it's then taking ice and comparing it to slightly melty snow. Right? Like.
I don't know. I think it's all water in the end. That's just below freezing.
Well, I know some people are wet.
Oh my God. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about Star Wars in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.